Is Rachel Reeves missing the point? Why Red Wall MPs are fighting for Britain's forgotten communities. Stop me if you've heard this one. The Chancellor announces another eye-watering multi-billion-pound transport plan. MPs grumble, Twitter explodes, and the rest of us wonder how any of it will actually make life better where we live. But what if, behind the noise, a small political rebellion is brewing that could change how Britain is rebuilt from the ground up? Buckle up, because this is not just another Westminster budget squabble. This is about the future of our communities, and it's a fight you'll want to see through to the end. Rachel Reeves, the new Chancellor, is at the heart of a debate that's about a lot more than money. The headlines are dominated by her plans to throw £113 billion at shiny new train sets and motorways. But behind the scenes, a group of Labour MPs from so-called left-behind areas are asking a harder question. What about the places barely held together by gaffer tape and goodwill? These MPs, many from the Red Wall, Labour's new Northern Heartlands, have just raised their hands and asked, what's the point of new railways if the local library is closing, the park is derelict, and the community centre is shuttered? Let's talk about the 613 mission-critical areas identified by the Independent Commission on Neighbourhoods, led by Labour peer Hilary Armstrong. The name might sound like something out of a military operation, but the reality is anything but glamorous. These are the places with sky-high unemployment, welfare spending through the roof, and productivity levels stuck at a dismal 60% of the national average. Many just voted reform in the last local elections, not out of ideology, but out of sheer frustration. When Armstrong Commission published its map of Britain's forgotten corners, it made clear these aren't just statistics. These are real towns where people wake up every day hoping something, anything, will change. While Rachel Reeves is playing SimCity with billions in transport spending, Red Wall MPs have a sharper point. What about the social infrastructure that holds communities together? Jake Richards from Rother Valley summed it up. Sure, transport projects are important, but social infrastructure is what actually transforms lives. He's talking about things like Sure Start. Remember that? The community program that worked until someone decided it was too expensive. Or take Wolverhampton, where Armstrong recalls a community lunch that employed a chef and brought people together, sparking connection and hope. It sounds simple, but for many, it was revolutionary. Chris Webb from Blackpool South points out that big infrastructure projects tend to benefit major cities, while coastal towns are left holding the metaphorical bucket. And Luke Akehurst from North Durham says his constituency has been excluded from the national economy for far too long. Here's where things get interesting. There's real evidence that investing in people and places works. The National Lottery-funded Big Local project gave 150 neighbourhoods more than £1 million each to spend on local regeneration over a decade. The result? Crime fell faster, economic inactivity rose more slowly, and, most importantly, communities felt empowered. When you give people the means to fix their own areas, they do it. Turns out, treating people like adults actually works better than assuming they need rescuing from above. But here's the rub. Treasury rules make it easier to borrow billions for a new railway than to fund a local community centre. Imagine being allowed to buy a Ferrari, but not the petrol to drive it. As Armstrong put it, buses and trams matter, but they're not the whole picture. Big infrastructure projects take years, cost fortunes, and often leave locals feeling like passengers in their own towns. The Commission's central argument: if Rachel Reeves wants real, sustainable growth, she needs to redefine what counts as investment. Maybe, just maybe, helping people build skills and confidence is as important as laying down new track. Here's where it gets beautifully simple and infuriatingly complex. This isn't just about money, though, of course, it is. It's about whether Labour will rebuild communities from the ground up or fall into the same trap as every government before, assuming that new roads and train lines will magically make prosperity trickle down. The Red Wall voted Labour for change, not just better transport links. They want investment, real investment, in the places they call home. And there's a genuine risk Labour's growth strategy becomes just another case of build it and they will come, without stopping to ask if it's what people actually want. So, here's my challenge for you. Look around your own community. What would £1 million of local-led investment look like where you live? The evidence is clear. When communities get the chance to invest in themselves, magic happens. Are these MPs onto something, or is this just another case of politicians promising the world and delivering a strongly worded letter? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more analysis of the stories that really matter, subscribe to UK Plug. British politics is about to get interesting. Don't miss what comes next. Stay sharp, stay skeptical, and remember, sometimes the best investments aren't in concrete and steel, but in people and the places they call home.